Morning. Welcome to a rainy New England Memorial Day observance. My name is Mike Hennessy, Director of Veteran Services. Now I'd like to introduce our guest speaker, Mike Sizak from the Marlborough Fire Department.
Good morning. The greatest generation, particularly our World War II veterans, fought for what was right and just. They went because it was the right thing to do. On the eve of the Normandy invasion, General Dwight D. Eisenhower issued a historic Order of the Day to the 175,000 Allied troops. He declared, "You are about to embark upon the greatest crusade, toward which we have striven these many months. The eyes of the world are upon you. The hopes and prayers of liberty-loving people everywhere march with you. In company with our brave allies and brothers in arms on other fronts, you will bring about the destruction of the German war machine, the elimination of Nazi tyranny over the oppressed peoples of Europe, and security for ourselves in a free world." The greatest generation went because it was the right thing to do. My name is Michael Sizak. I'm a proud husband to my wife, Caroline. I'm a very proud father to my 4 boys, Tommy, Henry, Jackie, and Bobby. And through my time with the Massachusetts Army National Guard, I represented the 3rd generation of my family to serve the nation. And I continue to serve proudly as a member of the Marlborough Fire Department. When Counselor Matt Sargent approached me and asked if I would like to address the ceremony today, I was honored and decided I would use this platform to address one subject near and dear to my heart. That is our nation's World War II veterans. General Eisenhower continued in his June 5th Order of the Day. "Your task will not be an easy one. Your enemy is well-trained, well-equipped, and battle-hardened. He will fight savagely." Allow me to briefly talk about my grandfather, Frank J. Sizak. He was a part of the greatest generation. The son of Polish immigrants who entered into our country via Ellis Island. They brought their family up in Chicago, Illinois. After dropping out of high school his sophomore year, he enlisted in the United States Army. He was a recipient of the Bronze Star Medal, a result of his efforts fighting in the Battle of the Bulge, the final Allied push to defeat German forces. The single bloodiest battle the U.S. Army fought in World War II, resulting in roughly 81,000 total American casualties. He arrived in Europe with the 66th Infantry Division and proceeded across the Western Front to the Rhine River. They were tasked with clearing newly seized land of booby traps and mines, facing incomprehensible danger, with death just being an all too normal part of the game. His battle was in the late stages of the war, serving alongside limited troops, many of whom were severely battle fatigued. And through different familial accounts, I can confirm that my grandfather was also directly involved in the liberation of a German death camp. General Eisenhower continued, "Our home fronts have given us an overwhelming superiority in weapons and munitions of war, and placed at our disposal great reserves of trained fighting men. The tide has turned. The free men of the world are marching together to victory. I have full confidence in your courage, devotion to duty, and skill in battle. We will accept nothing less than full victory." Victory was had, and my grandfather went on to raise a family of 6 in a quiet suburb outside of Chicago. He humbly worked as a letter carrier. He moonlighted as a high school janitor to support my father and his 5 siblings. He was a devout Catholic a cantor for his local church. He seldom talked about the horrors of war, only confiding in a select few peers who encountered similar mental wounds. The greatest generation wore those battle scars quietly. As a generation born into the Great Depression, their intrinsic resilience would never allow for self-pity or hopelessness to dominate their existence. The reason I shared the story of my grandfather's life is to highlight the very archetype of our beloved World War II veterans. Selfless, quiet, humble, mentally tough, patriotic. A generation who came back from war and, despite the horrors, built our country into a powerhouse of unprecedented economic and cultural advancement. It's no secret that the living history of World War II is diminishing at an uncomfortably fast pace. The Department of Veterans Affairs estimates that we lose anywhere between 130 and 230 World War II veterans every single day. They also estimate that of the 16.4 million total World War II veterans, only about 45,000 to 70,000 are still alive with a median age of 98 years old. Should you be lucky enough to encounter a World War II veteran today, consider yourself blessed and use the opportunity to thank them. Thank them for everything. Their sacrifice, their patriotism, committing to fight for something larger than we could ever imagine. Leaving home, often to the great unknown, with little to no communication with their loved ones. Remember the ones who didn't make it home on this Memorial Day. Not just the 420,000 plus lost in World War II, but every single United States service member who has laid down their life for this beautiful piece of land we call our home. President Eisenhower concluded his address to the troops. I have full confidence in your courage, devotion to duty, and skill in battle. We will accept nothing less than full victory. Good luck, and let us beseech the blessing of Almighty God upon this great and noble undertaking. God bless our fallen troops, God bless our city, and God bless America. Thank you.
Thank you, Mike. That was very well said. Before we conclude, I would like to thank members of the Marlborough Fire Department, members of the Marlborough Police Department, Mayor Dumas and his staff, Marlborough Veterans Council, all of our veterans, members of City Council, and I'd especially like to thank Dan Jackson from DPW and Facilities, Artie Smith from DPW and Facilities, and our wonderful crews that made this area beautiful. Thank you for all the work you do for the city. Thank you, Representative Greg Wattu. I'd now like to introduce Dylan from Boy Scout Pack 41 to sing our national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Thank you, Dylan. Thank you all Scouts that came out today as well. There's a coalition lunch at the AMVETS, concluding the parade. Thank you very much.